DD India correspondent Amrit Pal Singh joins us from Israel on the ground situation prevailing there. Good morning, Amrit. Israel has intensified its airstrikes inside the Gaza Strip, even as the diplomatic efforts are on to defuse the crisis. Where is the situation leading to?
That's right. It's day 19 of the conflict, and Israel has intensified its military campaigns, continues to fire targets inside the Gaza Strip. In fact, the Israeli Defense Forces say that last night itself they fired 400 targets within the Gaza Strip. Hamas officials are to be believed 700 people have died in the Gaza Strip in the last 2 days due to intensified airstrikes. But what Israel is doing is it's also the Israel Defense Forces and the Israel Air Force is dropping leaflets inside the Gaza Strip, asking people to move away because they will intensify their strikes, move towards the south. They say those who do not move will be treated as collaborators and they'll be responsible for their own deaths. Even while it does so, it's also throwing leaflets and audio messages, broadcasting audio messages inside the Gaza Strip, asking for specific information about where Hamas is holding the hostages, saying promising protection and money to the people living in Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces are saying to get the hostages released. They see this as a measure of cooperation from the Gazan civilians. But the reports coming out of there, if they are to be believed, that's not cutting much ice because people are facing the brunt of the Israeli strikes. And also, Hamas, there is a certain amount of scare of the Hamas. So people, the civilian people are caught between the devil and the deep sea and are the worst sufferers in this. As far as international diplomacy goes, Emmanuel Macron was here yesterday. He met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the President and stressed upon the need for he first of all, reiterated France's support for Israel, but said, and in fact went on to the extent of saying that the wider coalition against ISIS needs to now start working on Hamas, treating Hamas the same way as the world looks at ISIS. So clearly drawing a comparison between them. But he also said that the first objective is to get the hostages released and see how a civilian population of Palestine's suffering can be reduced. So really, pressurizing the Benjamin Netanyahu government to take measures to reduce civilian casualties while expressing his support with Israel. Now, interestingly, the UN chief statement yesterday saying that the Hamas attacks didn't happen in a vacuum has, ruffled feathers here, with Israel calling for the UN Secretary General to resign immediately, saying that he stands with terrorists. So that has put a spin. But the Western nations are pressurizing Benjamin Netanyahu not to go in for a ground assault, even as the demand for the Israeli forces going in and fighting Hamas grows by the day here.
Well, thank you, Amrit, for that update there from Israel.